BodyBags, where horror lies.
Roth from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. A little compressed for time today. My wife and I are catching a matinee to see Casablanca on the big screen from 1942. And so just kind of in a rush state of mind here. Week 538, BodyBags here. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. And of course, as you see by the title, it is Peter Jackson's Bad Taste. We're doing 1987 all week long, and this was my pick from 1987. Peter Jackson does it all in here, man. He's the cinematographer, the director, the writer, the producer, these everything, special effects, baking prosthetics in his mom's oven. I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure it comes after Meet the Feebles, but that really this is his directorial debut, and 16 millimeter over the course of 4 years, no real script, it just sort of came together. This has got to be one of the craziest special effects driven, blood and guts, just all over the place movies I've ever seen in my life, man. Basically, and I did not write it down, but you have an agency who specializes in dealing with the potential or reality that aliens may have landed in. Peter Jackson plays like 3 people in this thing, I think. Derek, though, is the main protagonist. He's sort of there on the front line. Him and I want to say it's Barry get there first. This is a WingNut film production, so this is early Peter Jackson first. So some of you who don't know Peter Jackson other than the Lord of the Rings films, which I think is really probably his masterpiece of filmmaking, at least the first 3. Not thinking about The Hobbit, that's a separate story. But the first 3 films, as they were, you see a lot of his early works, be it Dead Alive, Bad Taste, some of the things that he does, you'll see sprinkled throughout. And in fact, there's a documentary on this release by Substance I have. It's not the greatest release in the world, but it does have that good taste made bad taste. And it's just a 25-minute documentary. And you see, and it is all you need to see to understand the genius of this guy and where he came from as a kid. And what will quickly develop from there to Dead Alive, ultimately The Frighteners, and then I think the next step was Lord of the Rings. Dead Alive might be his splatter, it's the word I'm looking for, his splatter, his masterpiece of splatter. And there are hints of what he'll do in that film in Bad Taste, but that 25-minute documentary is absolutely mandatory that you check out. You get a little sneak preview into his life and just how he was able to figure out Steadicam and again, creating the prosthetics and just working these things out with those close around him. This film and its documentary that's on the disc, I want to say, I'm pretty sure Anchor Bay put out a decent DVD release of this, but really for all intents and purposes, it's out of print right now. I'm pretty sure it is. Jackson has promised and continues to promise that there is a box set of sorts coming down the pike that is going to be 4K. It's going to be The Feebles, I think, and Bad Taste and Dead Alive. God, that box set ever drops, I'm telling you, that is the mother of all pre-orders. And so anyways, Derek leads the assault. Him and Barry lead the assault. The others are coming. There's a few others coming behind. These aliens have taken up residence in Crow, I think it's how you say it, this small town. They've wiped out the population. It seems like humans have become the fast food of the universe. It is the new fad. And so they have basically wiped out the whole town. And it's up to Derek, of course, Peter Jackson, and his antithesis character, his antagonist, played by himself, which is so great. There's the scene where he's got Robert is his name, who is an alien now, hanging off the cliff, and he's putting this spike right down through his foot, and it's just absolutely outrageous. Early on, there's a splatter effect where it sort of reminds you of a more polished version of it, I think, is maybe in The Beyond. But here you got a gunshot to the head that just takes the head right off, later on, you see an alien that's just eating like with a spoon or something, man, eating out of the cavity of the head. There's just a number of, and there's one gagging-inducing moment. It's not near as bad as what will come in Dead Alive. There are a few scenes in Dead Alive that just turn your stomach. This one is sort of not near as bad, but it's still, if you're not ready for it, I guess it could make you gag a little bit. And so basically, it's just try to ascertain who are these aliens, why are they there, and then basically get them before they can escape and leave. Which, by the way, their alien ship is masqueraded by a house, which ultimately will fly off. And this movie is just soaked in a love for splatter and a willingness to just have pure fun. This movie is fun. And whether it upsets anyone's sensibilities or not, you can't argue with the fact that this is a labor of love, and it's designed and meant to just have fun. It is a fun movie. And it ought to be seen, especially those who may only know Peter Jackson from The Lord of the Rings. It really does need to be seen and examined, and hopefully we'll get a nice box set from Peter Jackson that is for this film needs to be preserved. It needs to be cleaned up, restored to as close to a 4K as possible, which I don't know how much you can do with this, but with the 16 millimeter, but I mean, the film still looks pretty decent considering 4 years of work on the cameras he used. It looks brilliant. It really does. And just when you learn how he actually, in the documentary, how he learned how to get by on the cheap with some of these effects, just the ingenuity of his mind is just Peter Jackson, man. And I have to say, man, this gets a right release. I would love to hear either a film historian, or I would love to hear somebody like Guillermo del Toro do a commentary track, and maybe with Peter Jackson as buddies, man, just talking about it and talking about film, and that would be pretty fun. So anyways, Bad Taste from 1987, all week long. This is what we are going to be looking at. I don't know what else there to say about Bad Taste. It leaves a good taste in your mouth, though, man. We'll leave it at there. So for 1987, enjoy the week. Thank you. As always, we end these things off with Go Bills.